piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
A non-numeric one.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Square bullet hole murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head.
Oh no.
That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Huh, okay. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Commit to paper.
The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But
Do you have a pen?
the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Fine, I'll just use this crappy pencil.
Absolutely motionless at first, then animated, slowly, imperceptibly even. The lieutenant begins to browse his notes again, leaving you to the case files, onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager.
Oh, cross out the one I finished.
Slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. And a fuck you to you too. That last one cuts a slash right through the paper. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
We have a name for it.
Any ideas?
The Furies are at home in the mirror. The setting sun on a stick. Actually, I don't have one. Hangman.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
That's
The
it.
notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even. You don't
All right.
exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Let's try it. Oh, low chance. Can explain the system. Browse the papers.
You see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out.
What are they?
The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Okay.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. all in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
Okay.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs.
Got it. Okay.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Okay, well, let's look at the other stuff. Look at
It's
it.
made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with.
Oh,
The
good to
edges
know.
are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters RCM.
Shake it.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. There's pain in there, if you want some. That much you know. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Okay, well, let's sniff it.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
I know. I don't need anyone's help.
If you knew it was dunked in the toilet before getting chucked into the trash,
Why are you sniffing it? The option to sniff was there. So, this is police muck. I'm just following leads. Maybe it's my fetish. Maybe everything of that nose.
garbage toilet stink is not your fetish, and you know it. Your nose does not fucking like it.
This is getting hostile. Let's move on. Are you angry with Big Nose?
Yeah. Turns out your nose doesn't like self-indulgent ritual shit stuffing. Quelle fucking surprise. Come on, no more. The ledger is going back down, away from your nose now.
Okay. So let's read the case files and then we'll try opening it.
It's proving
Fail.
to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
Okay. Try opening. Success.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Yeah.
without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's in the box?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Kill yourself, you ass. Wow. Okay.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. You feel that thing in the back of your head, that little voice, that quiet scream. You already felt this was a bad idea, but especially right now, it's even worse. Try as you might, you can't read it now.
Okay.
Business to deal with first. Talk to the union boss first, at least. I can't stop you for long, but there's just enough of an excuse now.
Oh, okay.
It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand. Your hand shakes. You're flushed with adrenaline.
I mean, can I get...
resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other.
I guess not.
It's slightly. Your hand shakes. You're flushed with adrenaline.
Well, alright then.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not
Quite a
much.
lot to read here, actually. Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh no.
What are you going to say about a broken, tossed away mug that you
You-
dug out of the garbage?
I'm going to use an example not to do. I'm going to push this into the face of every merchant I find and tell them this is your innate ideology. The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my badass hustling, i.e. fraud and embezzlement. The mug didn't belong in the trash. It was just a funny mug. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Oh god, and I have to pick one of these. Let's see, what would my character do? My character would not be smart enough to do most of these things. Honestly, they would probably be dumb enough to pick that, but maybe this one.
So again, you dug it out of the trash. Why? It wasn't going to offend anyone there. Why don't you just get back to your case?
Sounds good. All right then. Close in the trash, track down the badge, track down the gun, find the booze, find the smokes, and read the watermarks. Okay. Well, we can do one of those things. We can get the ice cream, though. That's kind of important. And we'll just go... Oh, we'll go back out the way we came. That way we can get all those things at once.
Yes?
Oops. Seem to be following me.
Excuse me?
Beat it, you're cramping my style. What if I want to work on this case alone?
Frankly, Detective, you are in a deranged state. I can't let you proceed without close supervision. In fact, under normal circumstances, I'd be duty-bound to report you. Take it as a token of good faith between our precincts that I haven't done so. That would be us, the Revachol Citizens Militia.
What if I need some me time?
You time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You still have your evenings to yourself.
It sounds good.
Moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
I think you should know I can't remember
No
anything.
response. He just arches his brow.
I really don't remember anything.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to
Oh
his
no.
voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
I'm afraid this is a medical situation. Move on. Alright, I'm just gonna let it go for now.
Struggles, not your...
Your heart beats twice like a fist. The serotonin deficiency makes your teeth clench.
Oh, I could be an ass. Nah.
Glances at his electronic wristwatch.
Alright,
The moment
because I want to go to the car. That was, I did not intend to talk to him. Yeah, because it's getting late. I need to get going, but this has been fun. I'm definitely going to continue this. I can already feel myself. I'm definitely past the point where I have lost the energy to, you know, react appropriately to the amazing things that I'm seeing here. But I'm just going to finish up a couple loose ends and all that.
inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The raspberry page jumps, and the engine of the caprice enabler comes to life with a whiny growl, like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Okay. And let's do it.
Hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp. An iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here.
Okay.
Oh yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
All of them worse than here.
Okay, let's look at the perforations.
And they are divided into three separate rows. The first row has 18 dots.
Not bad.
Not bad for war. You don't even know what it means yet.
Yep.
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them individually.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200. The last row has 3 perforations.
18, 203.
As you look at them, you feel your index finger reflexively contract 3 times.
Been something I'd done before.
And something you'll do again before this is all over.
What do these mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Son, here is where we score your life performance.
Yeah.
You better hope it's good.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
18 years I've done this. I got drunk like a megastar. I walked the land telling whores and liars at the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining. I was a hobo and I lived under a boat. Probably some boring office job, same as everyone else. I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time. Do you really think I have any idea? Yeah, the end came.
Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed this. Not a lot of money in doom crying. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
Would have thought there'd been more. Is that a lot?
Quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
So you're saying I used to be a super cop?
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row.
You know the answer already. The tingle in your index finger gave it away.
Those are kills.
That's right.
Wow, it's real. So I feel like a killer. Because I felt a twitch with my index finger.
Ah, Sometimes the brain's able to preserve certain responses even when conscious memory has been, let's say, misplaced. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved, but competent.
Have you ever done it?
Yes.
How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method, of course. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find out.
Anything's better than annihilating yourself with drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Cool. All right. Well, it's getting late. Let's see. Was there anything? I don't have any new thoughts. Which I'm a little sad about. What other things can I go look for? Oh, right. We were going to go in the other way to the ice cream truck. I'm just going to try to do that real quick. And then maybe the password and call it. We're going on 6.5 hours of this. While this has been great, I definitely didn't expect to do that much.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Okay, turn it.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping.
Well, let's try to crack the lid.
The ice.
Oh,
You could swear you succeeded, but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
what do we
I have
get?
no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
All right. So what that means to me is that there's nothing I can do with that thing yet. So let's get more of that. Cool. Yeah. Inspect the body. Maybe I can try the body again. I'll give it one more shot. And then I'll call it for the night, I think.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes.
Okay, we'll try it again.
Is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell, emitting it. As you breathe in,
We did it.
the odor comes over you. It's the smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Alright, let's just look at all of it.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
They are armor, no boots. Technically speaking, these are sabatons.
Okay.
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Pull the boot off. What happened to the rest of it?
Locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil.
Oh. Why does my mortal coil need protecting?
Yes, bullets will fly. They always do. And the coil is fleshy and mush and permeable. Cast it in ceramic shell. Resist death.
Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there's no rest of the armor? Or understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. Ageless and synthetic.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Ka-ching, baby. Nod to the boots. That's a lot, I take it.
As a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot.
How could he afford this?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Look pretty advanced for a security guard.
This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Pull the boot
A
off.
stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes
Oh
from
no.
Stop! He's gonna pull his head off.
Rachel!
Lieutenant, you seem distressed. Why? Oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it? Let go of the boot. What?
You're going to pull his head off.
Oh. I'm gonna pull his head off, right? Do what? I'm not.
About your sexuality, officer. You are about to seriously compromise the coroner's case. What
Oh,
are you
no.
trying to achieve anyway?
Those boots would go super well with my bell-bottom pants that I'm not wearing. This is advanced enemy technology. We should conduct research into their weaknesses. Are we not detectives? There may be clues inside the boot. He said they were expensive. I thought I could pawn them to earn some lucre. Sorry, I didn't even want to take them off. I thought I should try. Clues.
Maybe we should concentrate on what's outside the boot and leave what's inside to the boys at processing? Just this once. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think
Ew.
locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down, and second, it would probably
Oh, no.
be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
That would be dishonorable for honor. Yes.
Alright, you can pay the hostel bill in honor points. How many honor points have you collected?
There are honor points.
Of course there aren't. Don't be naive.
What's going to happen to them?
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
Knock on
A
the boot.
small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
Oh.
The metal connects with the same ding. The sound does not appear to get louder. The only difference is a barely audible click underneath. Sounds like the end of a long dice roll.
Did you hear that? A click? This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally, from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the sound you heard. See these lines?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the thirst within you.
What was that, word?
Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you
Alcohol.
decipher the fading logo of the local brewery.
No,
I should get a drink.
You should not get a drink. You should perform an initial inspection of the victim's corpse. We are on the rope part. Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Can't coming up with anything other than harbor.
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
Sure wanted him to stay there. The polyester seems strong. How did they even get him up there? Assuming the...
It's not merely polyester, it's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed. The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
Yeah. No, they forgot to me. My past is gone. Total annihilation, nothing remains. The 11 mile, certainly not a briefing. Yeah.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
Okay, good to know. Have to get him up there.
News is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt, buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing up there.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
The pattern does not stir patriotic or religious sentiment in you. What it does is speak to the wounded, limping animal, the male in particular, unable to communicate in anything more than grunts. It's impossible to tell if its advice is right or wrong.
Okay.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera.
That you get sunshine. Mini.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. have
Okay.
only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left.
What do we need it for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? Should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Okay.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
Ooh. Success. Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder,
Where's that?
in the past, way out west.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
A joke. Look at me.
You are now, but who were you when you were alive?
Killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Takes one to know one.
You got another question.
Go ahead, Kobo.
What's happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
The power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions.
Why do I love questions so much?
Love questions. Because you're a copperoony.
Copperoony.
Go. Do you want more questions?
Yeah, give me more questions. Give me a comical amount of
Coming
questions.
right up, Copperoony Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rooney?
But no, you're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have
Who killed you?
love did me in, brother Copo. It was love all along.
Can't you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this? Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Because he told me to. Maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous. Yes.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest. And it's
Yeah.
almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
I hate you, you stink, and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
Myself in the bathroom mirror, a baby affected with harlequinism. You don't remind me of anyone, or a deep sea creature,
No, not quite. Be fair now.
A baby.
You sure wrinkled out of that one, Coppolini. Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible. Also, see me in your dreams.
So how do we get him down?
Sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Okay.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in...
Let's do
As
that.
you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
Stop, relax your eyes.
Slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Huh, okay. Let's do this again.
As you know, only the lower
Observe.
extremities-
Why am I doing
How
this?
should I know why you are squinting, officer?
I don't know, maybe I should just stop? Yeah. Rest is...
You are trying to assess lividity.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
Ew.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. I don't know what to think. What do you think? Something's coming out of him. It's beaten up. Do you see the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
It means he fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
Something's coming out of
The
him.
pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
Oh wow, you counted. Ooh.
The fuck are you saying?
Talking about shit.
Oh boy. Goddamn right. We got lucky. Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death. Alright, well, I'm gonna play around.
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. Sounds like
Big Teddy's a...
the lieutenant's face
Wow.
is made of stone.
He is not impressed. I don't know what to think. What do you
I
think?
he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think. Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption, but we should still get him down before assigning a probable cause of death.
I think he's
I
dead.
agree. Totally dead.
Totally. This Buster's not coming back. Deadity dead, dead, dead. What is dead anyway?
No siree.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you.
Alright, let's let's do this real quick. Just
You have questions, don't you?
alright, that's
Come
enough.
back later, Copo.
Let's get him down.
Steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Can't someone else do it? We could saw the branch. Seems like a lot of hassle. We could shoot him down. Maybe we can ask help from the harbor. I'm out of ideas. Let's have another look at him. Okay, well, we literally could do that. We could saw the branch.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
Oh. Shoot up there, maybe points to the branch. Shoot the belt, the bullet will break it.
Absolutely will not, officer. That's not how physics work. It will maybe cut one thread loose.
Yeah,
Darn.
now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Take the shot. What's the worst that could happen? Actually, don't. It has bad idea written all over it. Wait, let me try.
But what else can we do?
Saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch? Don't try
Yeah.
that lever. The assailants didn't use it. It's rotten and less sturdy than it looks. And I don't see another good way up there. Honestly, I prefer a non-acrobatic solution to this. There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Someone else do
You mean like
it. Yeah, exactly. Call the police. I mean, somebody who's below detective.
someone like a paid garbage man or a cleaning crew? I have bad news for you. That is a detective. I know it's
Oh,
very
he
sure
means
you
below
won't
in
find
status.
out. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down fast.
He breathes out.
Oh yeah, do this shit! Fuck it up!
Let me
The
try.
lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
Say nothing, let him choose.
With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Shoot him down. Or easy does it.
The chick's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says,
God damn it.
"A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's Stess was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight."
Fucking idiot! Mukabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
What now?
See, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
We can make him feel bad. Alright, let's do it.
It is us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one gun!
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka! Take it and shoot yourself
Feel the
in
weight
back.
first. Point the gun at the belt.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Kuno is silent. Aggression gathers in the air. The trigger feels delicate and ready to break under your finger.
Let's do it.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Close your left eye, point the gun. Oh, whoa. Okay. How evil cop are we going? Well, closing the eye doesn't give depth perception, right? I think that would be a bad idea. I have no idea. I think we're just gonna try it. Oh, failed. Oh, we shot him.
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb from the explosion. With your ears still ringing, you lower the weapon to see what happened. You missed the belt.
Oh no.
Bullets straight in the
Wow.
chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from his skin. No blood, only a murky sludge dripping down his belly. The sudden stink makes your eyes water.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry! I knew it! What a mulko!
Ask for another shot. You'll get it with the next one. The goddamn light reflected off some window. Surely.
He keeps missing. I don't want to do this anymore. It's boring. Start crying. You're sensitive. I need another shot.
It's already compromised bad enough. We don't have to make it worse.
It came out wrong. You made it sound like you're some sort of roulette addict looking for a fix. Ask again. More control this time.
Swallow defeat, please.
There is silence.
Vittupa wants to fuck up again bad!
Keeps missing. I don't want to do this anymore. It's Weird.
People, asshole!
Don't provoke her.
Shot him in the chest! What a fucking idiot!
It's not the gun fault you
Yep.
can't shoot. It's your pig hands.
Pigs don't have hands, they have like fucking hooves or something.
Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
Lieutenant, we should address him with the service weapon. If I can't shoot him down, no one will.
Better because he fucks that corpse up, Kuno. What a fucking good pillar!
We still need to get him down somehow. The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. If they put him up there, they can take him down too.
Good job, we already found a way in the harbor.
Hooray for us.
Want to be dangerous?
To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to handle this ourselves. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
The leader of the Union. A dangerous and corrupt man, from what I hear. You don't want to owe him much.
Yeah, don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches.
Let's get to it then. Alright, cool. Well, I think that's where we're going to stop for the day. I have another point I can use, I guess. I would like to use it on endurance. Yeah. Alright, so, tools. I don't have the crowbar anymore. Okay. And I have the photos. Alright, yeah, so that's gonna be it for me today. Can I do a new save? I guess not. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it for me. This was fun. I will definitely do more of this if I can. The computer is going in for service, which means I will probably be unable to stream next week. We will see. Trying to figure out ways around that right now. So who knows? Maybe I'll be doing this on Saturday. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Hope any of this has been interesting. And hope to see you next time.